Welcome back to Luke's Properties YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you a house that I've just bought for £95,000. I'm going to walk you through the house, tell you my plans in terms of a refurbishment, how much it cost, and what my expected returns are. Let's get into it. So I've just bought this house for £95,000. Come inside and have a look. So this is living room 1. As you can see, decent size. A fair bit to do, but good space. Follow me. So this will be living room / dining room. Follow me through to the kitchen. Pretty small, but fit for purpose. Probably put in some new worktops, some new cabinets, and some new tiles. Freshen it up, modernize it, and yeah, that should be enough for it to get rented. This is the bathroom. We'll be putting a new bathroom in here, tidying it up, painting it, making it modern. And then let me show you the garden, then we'll go upstairs. So this is the garden, a decent space, nice patio there. It's pretty low maintenance, so we'll probably just tidy it up, maybe put a trellis along here. But yeah, it's a good space. And as you can see, horses over there, a lovely view of the Welsh valleys. And we're right next to a farm, which will be perfect for a family or professional sharers, or even holiday lets or Airbnb guests as well. So it can serve a few purposes. Follow me upstairs now. So this is bedroom 1. As you can see, good sized bedroom. The boiler's here. We're obviously going to box this in, probably paint and decorate this whole room, and this will make for a good sized bedroom once it's all done. Let me show you what we're considering doing with bedroom 2. So this is bedroom 2, and as you can see, it's a lot bigger. And what a couple of the other houses along this road have done is they've split this room in 2, and then they've made it a 3-bed rather than a 2-bed, and it's definitely added value. So that's something that we could do, but that will probably cost anywhere from 20 grand, 15, 20 grand, I'd say, to do the whole house, and then separate the rooms, get another bedroom up here. So we're going to weigh it up. We've got that option where we could do that and then look to add value and refinance, or we could just tidy it up, leave it as it is, and rent it out pretty much straight away. So those are our 2 choices. So now that I've shown you around the house, I want to give you a better idea of the numbers and what my expected returns are going to be. So I purchased the house for £95,000. My deposit was 25% of that, so that's £23,750. I then got a 75% buy-to-let mortgage to complete the purchase. My next cost was my stamp duty. So in Wales, where I invest, stamp duty is 4% of the purchase price. So in this instance, it was £3,800. My next cost was my solicitor cost. Now, because I bought this property as a limited company, I had to pay slightly more than if I was to buy the property in my personal name. So my cost to the solicitor was £2,000. My next cost was my mortgage broker cost of £295. Then, as I mentioned to you in the walkthrough, I want to do a cosmetic refurbishment, make some improvements to the house on a budget, and I expect that to cost around £5,000, which brings my total capital employed to £34,845. So once the house is refurbished, I'm then going to find some tenants and rent it out. I'm going to rent it for £700 a month. My mortgage payment on an interest-only mortgage at around 4.5% interest is going to be £250 per month. I'm going to put around £50 a month aside for maintenance, just in case. It's always good to have a contingency pot. I then have to pay for my landlord insurance, which costs £30 a month, which means my net income is £370 per month, or £4,440 per year. Now, when I take my net income of £4,440 and divide it by my total capital employed of £34,845, and then I multiply that number by 100, I get a 12.7% return on my capital employed, or ROCE, which means basically I'm getting a 12.7% return each year from the rental income based on the money that I invested into the property. Now, if you were to invest in stocks, for example, you'd be more than happy with a 7 or 8% return annually. So to get a 12.7% return from the rental income
not including the capital appreciation, as an investor, that's a sign of a very good investment. Now, house prices are set to increase in my investment area, which is Wales, by around 26.4% over the next 4 years. And don't just take my word for it, I've got this data from Savills house price forecast leading up to 2028. So go and have a look at that for yourself. So if house prices are set to rise by 26.4% over the next 4 years, in 4 years' time, this is what my numbers will look like. So by 2028, the house will be worth £120,000. When I bought it, it was only worth £95,000. That means my equity has increased to £48,830, up from £23,750. And the rent that I've received over those 4 years has added up to £17,760. Now, because I've bought this house in a limited company, I'm going to pay corporation tax, which is around 20%. So if you take 20% off of this figure each year, I'm going to be left with a post-tax income of £14,208. Now, this is where the magic happens. So because the house has increased in value significantly and I've benefited from the cash flow over those 4 years, now would be a great time to refinance the property. So my plan will be to go back to my mortgage broker and apply for a new mortgage based on the new value of £120,000. So my new mortgage will be 75% of that £120,000, which is £90,000. Now, with that new mortgage of £90,000, I'll pay off the old mortgage of £67,500. Now, remember, this mortgage has stayed the same because I took out an interest-only mortgage, which means I'm only paying the interest, not the principal loan. So the debt won't go down, it's going to stay the same at £67,500. But because the house has increased in value significantly, and I've now got a new mortgage against the new value, that £90,000 can pay off the old mortgage of £67,500, and that's going to leave me with £22,500 in tax-free money because it's a loan or debt and you don't pay tax on loans. So I'm going to take that tax-free £22,500 and put it with my post-tax rental income of £14,208, and that's going to leave me with £36,708. Now, bearing in mind, I only put £34,845 into the property initially. At this stage, I've basically got this house for free because I've got all of my initial investment back, plus a couple grand on top. Now, some people would go and buy a fancy car or a nice watch, but smart, savvy people will use this money to go and buy another investment. And in theory, this first investment has paid for the second investment. So the first house has paid for the second house. I haven't had to find any more of my own capital. I've waited for the house to appreciate in value and I've saved the rental income, put it together, and then used that to go and buy another house. So house number one has paid for house number two, which means basically I've got myself a free house. So I use that money to buy another house. I then repeat the process, and then house number two will pay for house number three, and so on. This is how wealthy people intelligently leverage debt to grow and scale their net worth. If you've made it this far in the video, then that means you take your property investment journey seriously. And as a token of my appreciation, I've attached a free buy-to-let course in the video description below. So click the link and take that course. It will further your buy-to-let education, and it's free. Why wouldn't you? If you want to watch a beginner's guide video all about buy-to-let, then you should watch this video next, as it will tell you everything you need to know as a beginner. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe, and feel free to comment so we can continue the conversation. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.